Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the booth here at Tiger Field in Sterling for an absolutely splendid afternoon for Tiger Baseball on 105.7 KPMX, KPMX.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network on this, let's just call it a wonderful spring day in northeast Colorado, with temperatures sitting right around 40 degrees, wind chill factors below that, and a nice combination of rain mixed with snow as we try to fit in a non-league contest between the Sterling Tigers and the DSST Montview Knights. I'm Chris Bulbrom. Glad to have you guys along for today's contest. Our pregame show is brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. Borrow your money and do your banking with people you know and people who know you. Stop by one of their 10 locations across the plains or visit equitable-savings.com. Today it's the Sterling Tigers and the DSST Montview Knights, one of several schools, a part of the DSST system, Denver School of Science and Technology. The Knights 1-4 on the season. Last year finished 5-15, 2-7 overall in league play a year ago. Sterling 3-1 on the year. They have yet to play a league contest. They finished 15-8 last year, 7-6 in league play last year as well. Sterling coming off a 2-1 appearance at the Jim Sullivan Classic last week, in which they got a little retribution against La Junta. Sterling, of course, lost to the La Junta Tigers in the opening round of regionals last year to finish their season. They got a win 7-2 over La Junta Friday night. They would win their first two games of that Jim Sullivan Classic in La Junta last weekend before falling in the championship game against Pueblo East on Saturday afternoon. But they bring that 3-1 record with them to tonight's contest, number 11 in the seating and selection index for the 3A classification. Meanwhile, Montview sitting at number 47 in the seating and selection index, currently fourth in the 2A, 3A City League. And they are looking to find themselves a little bit, are the DSST Montview Knights. A first-year head coach in Tanner Vaughn. They've not had a winning season since 2019 when they finished just a game over 500 at 11-10. So they're trying to sort of feel their way through this season and see if they can get themselves back to being a team that can be competitive on a yearly basis. Their only win this season came via a forfeit against Arupe Jesuit on the 21st of March. This team hasn't played since mid-March because of that forfeit. So they're certainly going to have to knock a little rust off, which may be easier said than done on a day like today when the temperature continues to drop and the rain-snow mix continues to fall here at Tiger Field. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we will meet our starting lineups, and we'll have first pitch as Sterling and DSST Montview square off on this snowy, dreary, wet Thursday afternoon on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Back here at Tiger Field in Sterling, let's meet the starting lineups for today's contest as we get set for baseball on this spring afternoon in Northeast Colorado. Our lineups today are brought to you by Northeastern. It's not just college, it's Northeastern. Now's the time to begin preparing for that educational journey in the fall of 2025. Registration for classes is going on now. Visit njc.edu. For the visiting DSST Montview Knights under first-year head coach Tanner Vaughn, it'll be Diego Lopez, the pitcher, to lead it off. Coleman Fenner, the center fielder, bats second. Juan Magallanes, the second baseman, hits third. Santiago Carbone, the catcher, bats fourth. Toby Asganazzi is the shortstop, hitting fifth. Izzy Ezerman is the third baseman, batting sixth. Brandon Gonzalez in left field hits seventh. Boone Vuth, the right fielder, bats eighth, and Elijah Banks, the first baseman, will bat ninth. Defensively for the Tigers under third-year head coach Scott Diorio, 36-16 his overall record as the head coach. Kaysen Banford gets the start for the Tigers behind the plate. He will catch Ethan Felzine, who is making his first career start on the hill for the Tigers. Mitchell Boxberger gets the start at first base today. Memphis Dempsey at second. Robbie Carrasco's at third. Dayton Diorio in his usual spot at shortstop. Riker Van Wyks in left. Sam Emerson in center. And Ethan Tyne gets the start in right field. Again, the Tigers trotting a different-looking lineup out there today against a DSST Montview team that's struggled out of the gate this season. See if they can get some guys some playing time here this afternoon despite the elements. Ethan Felzine got his first 2 innings of the season, and I believe his first 2 innings in a Tiger uniform on the hill against Pueblo East in that loss to finish up the Jim Sullivan Classic last weekend on Saturday in La Junta. As the first pitch is fouled back by Diego Lopez to the screen, and we are officially underway on this Tuesday. Our first pitch is brought to you by Bailey Mechanical. When your temperature's not quite right on a day like today, call your local Lennox dealer, Bailey Mechanical, 970-522-0471. Couple of foul balls off the end of the bat of Diego Lopez, the pitcher. 35 degrees the official temperature at first pitch. Feels more like 28 with the wind chill and the light rain snow mix falling at the moment. The 0-2 pitch paints the outside corner, and Diego Lopez is down looking for the first out of the ball game. Let's take a look at that pitching matchup for today's contest as one pitcher retires the other. As we mentioned, Ethan Felzine getting his first start of the season. Felzine on the year. A couple of innings of work over the weekend, sitting at 2 innings. 1 run surrendered. It was earned. No walks, 1 strikeout, 3 hits. An ERA of 3.50. First pitch misses away to Coleman Fenner, the center fielder. The second too far inside. 2 balls and no strikes on Fenner. The kick and the pitch. That one finds the outer edge. 2 balls and 1 strike, the count on Coleman Fenner. The pitch, swing and a miss. He chases one in the dirt, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on the Knights center fielder. Felzine works exclusively out of the stretch. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Got him with a swinging strike on a pitch up and in. And that's down to, or back-to-back strikeouts for Ethan Felzine. 2 down with the bases empty for Juan Magallanes, the second baseman. First pitch from Felzine to Magallanes, and he tries to bunt at it and comes up empty. No balls and 1 strike. The 0-1 offering on the way. He looks to slap at it with a bunt a second time and comes up empty again. No balls and 2 strikes, the count on Magallanes, and a chance for Felzine to pick up a trio of strikeouts to start the ball game. The 0-2 is swung on and missed, And down on strikes goes Magallanes. 1, 2, 3. We waltz through the top of inning number 1 as the Tigers set down the Knights in order on a trio of strikeouts. No score. We head to the bottom of the first. Tigers looking to bring their bats to the plate next on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Bottom of the first inning, no score as Ethan Felzine in his first career start in a Tiger uniform picks up a trio of strikeouts, setting down the Montview Knights in order 1, 2, 3 in the top half of inning number 1. Let's meet the starters for the Tigers, brought to you by Channel Seed, the enhanced Channel Seed brand, here to help farmers rise to the challenge. Contact Mike Anderson or Mike Henninger or visit channel.com to find the Seed Pro nearest you. For the Sterling Tigers offensively, it'll be Dayton DiOrio, the shortstop, to lead it off. Memphis Dempsey bats second and plays second. Kason Bamford's the catcher. He hits third. Ethan Felzine, the pitcher, in the cleanup spot. Robbie Carrasco, the third baseman, hitting fifth. Ethan Tyne in right field. He'll bat sixth. Riker Van Wykes, the left fielder, batting seventh. Mitch Boxberger at first base defensively. He will bat eighth. And Sam Emerson getting the start in center field, the senior, batting in the 9 hole. They will be faced by Diego Lopez as the right-handed pitcher finishes his warm-up tosses on the hill. No stats posted by DSST Montview on Max Prep, so we can't give you numbers for Diego Lopez or any of the other players for DSST Montview this season, but we can provide you with stats for the Tigers offensively and defensively. And when we talk about Sterling and really the two big keys for them right now, the two humps they kind of have to get over in this early portion of the season, it's the defense and the pitching. The Sterling Tiger defense has made a couple of costly mistakes in some ball games early this season, especially in that loss to DSST Montview. One really bad inning, the loss to Pueblo East on Saturday. That really one bad inning. That fifth inning was kind of the undoing for the Tigers in that ball game. But the other thing that stands out, just looking at the numbers, if you go strictly based off of statistics, which is never a great thing to do when it comes to a game like baseball, which is super random. But one thing that really stands out to me is the walk to strikeout ratio for the Sterling pitching staff through the first 4 ball games. 19 walks, 14 strikeouts. They've walked 5 more than they've struck out as a pitching staff. They've given up 32 hits in 28 innings, a whip, a walk and hits per innings pitched of 1.8 to start the season. They're allowing an average of almost 2 base runners an inning. That's obviously something they're going to want to address as this season goes along. Dayton DiOrio will get the call to open things up in the bottom half of inning number 1. Dayton steps in from the right side, and already we've got to swap out the baseball for Diego Lopez as DiOrio brings a .333 batting average to the plate. First pitch on the way to Dayton, and he'll take that pitch low for ball 1. Defensively for the Knights, Santiago Carbone's behind the plate. Eli Banks over at first as Lopez winds, kicks, and fires. Too far outside with a breaking ball, 2-0. Juan Magallanes at second. Izzy Esserman at third. Toby Askenazi is at shortstop. Brandon Gonzalez is in left. Coleman Fenner in center. And Boone Vuth gets the start in right field. The 2-0 pitch on the inside corner called a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike on Dayton DeOrio. Tigers in the black jerseys with white numbers trimmed in orange. White pants to go with the black tops. Meanwhile, DSST Montview sporting the black-on-black ensembles trimmed in red today as DeOrio gets the 2-1, lashes it out to center field, but in the track to make the catch, fighting the elements, is Fenner for the first out of the inning. Well struck by Dayton DeOrio, but unfortunately it finds the leather of the center fielder Coleman Fenner. Memphis Dempsey now will step in. Dempsey, .429 batting average. Couple of runs batted in. 2 doubles on the season for the junior. Who's second on the team in innings pitched, third on the team in innings pitched this season. As he takes a pitch down and away, a breaking ball from Lopez. 1 ball and no strikes. Already, even though they waited until the last possible moment to remove the tarp on the pitching mound, you can already see guys dealing with the mud piling up in their cleats on the hill and maybe not getting a good footing on that plant foot. Pitch inside to Dempsey, 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 on the way from Lopez. That one finds the outer edge. 2 balls and 1 strike. Black jerseys, black pants, white letters trimmed in red across the front, red trim around the neckline and sleeves of the jersey. The 2-1 pitch is rolled over to short. It's scooped by Askenazi. The throw to first goes through the glove of the first baseman, Banks, and luckily for the Knights, Memphis Dempsey had turned and headed back to first by the time Banks was able to track down that baseball. So it'll be an E6 on the throwing error by the shortstop, Toby Askenazi, and that will allow Kaysen Bamford to swing the bat with a runner aboard. 4 runs batted in on the season for Kaysen, who's hitting just .200 on the year. As good as he was a year ago overall on the season, and a little bit of a slump offensively to start the year. .200 average, 4 runs batted in, does have 3 doubles. All 3 of his hits have been doubles this season. He's 3 for 15 on the year with no walks, 3 strikeouts. First pitch is a big bender from Diego Lopez, down and away for ball 1. Again, Lopez, the rest of the Knights bundled up as the runner takes off on the pitch. Dempsey will slide in ahead of the throw out to second. It was off the mark from Carbone anyway, and the pitch was up and out of the zone to Bamford. 2 balls and no strikes on Bamford. Runner at second with 1 away in a scoreless ball game here in the bottom of the first inning as the snow-rain mix has picked up rather dramatically here at Tiger Field. Spin and a throw out to second. Askenazi was not covering the bag at second. The throw went to the shortstop. Dempsey scrambled back to the bag nonetheless. Now they'll bring Magallanes over to cover the bag at second. Pitch finds the outer edge as the corner starts to expand thanks to Mother Nature, I would imagine. 2 balls and 1 strike on Bamford. That may be a bad weather strike zone today. Taking off for third is Dempsey. The pitch is low and no throw from Carbone. It'll be a stolen base for Memphis Dempsey, his second in this at bat. And now the go-ahead run is 90 feet away at third. 3 balls and a strike on Bamford. See if he gets something to hit here. He will not. Pitch up and away, ball 4. First walk of the year for Bamford as the senior backstop jogs down to first. Runners at the corners, and I think we may get a courtesy runner for the catcher. Nope, they're going to leave him out there, I believe. And Ethan Falzine, the starting pitcher for today's contest, will step to the plate. Again, the wintry mix picking up in veracity here at Tiger Field. Blowing in from left to right from our vantage point, or north-northeast at the moment. The first pitch to Falzine misses high and away for ball one. Ethan Falzine in his senior year hitting .400 on the season. He's got 5 runs batted in. That's second on the team behind Robbie Carrasco. Ethan without an extra base hit, 4 for 10 on the season, all singles. Lopez peers through the snow and the rain. The 1-0 misses down and in, 2 balls and no strikes. Dempsey, the runner at third, Bamford over at first. Dempsey reached on a throwing error by the shortstop, stole second, stole third. Bamford drew a walk, 1 out, no score. Now the 2-0 offering on the way. Slow hook from Diego Lopez. How do you lay off something that slow to the plate? 3 balls and no strikes. Three 3-0 on Falzine. A pitch away from loading the bases for the team leader in RBIs, and they will. The pitch high to Falzine, and the bases are loaded for Robbie Carrasco. And now we'll get a courtesy runner for the pitcher as Falzine will head to the dugout. And the courtesy runner, I believe, is Cooper Burton, number 12, over at first. So Dempsey, Bamford, Burton around the bases, third to first. And Robbie Carrasco will step to the plate. Carrasco hitting .500 on the year, 6 for 12 to start the season. 6 RBIs leads the squad. He's got a double amongst his hits. Did not have an extra base hit all of last season. And he's already got a double to his credit here this year. First pitch down and away to Rob for ball one. Carrasco's always brought a lot of confidence to the ballpark, but anytime you get off to a start like this, .500 batting average, 6 for 12 as he fires at one and fouls it out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike off towards North 7th Avenue. Nearly took out a passing vehicle on its way down. But anytime you start off hot like this, lead the team in RBIs, it just helps build on that confidence even more. The pitch, rifled foul right side and out of play off the end of the bat of Carrasco. Ball 1, strike 2 on Rob with the bases full of Tigers. Infield in with the exception of the second baseman, Juan Magallanes. Everyone else playing near the edge of the grass on the infield. Magallanes playing way back at second base. The 1-2 falls off the table into the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. You can see the coaches from the dugout trying to direct traffic defensively as they shift the right fielder Boone Vuth towards the right field line. The 2-2 pitch to Carrasco misses inside. A little Rob. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bases loaded. Nowhere for Robbie to go. Do or die pitch here from Diego Lopez. The payoff pitch on the way, and it's in the dirt, ball 4. It'll be an RBI walk for Robbie Carrasco, his team leading 7th run batted into the season, and the Tigers take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. Our first run of the ball game is brought to you by First National Bank in Fleming, your teammate for financial assistance. Learn more by stopping by and visiting First National Bank in Fleming since 1917, member FDIC. The First pitch to Ethan Tyne is delivered, and it will miss out of the zone for ball one. First year in a Tiger uniform for the senior Tyne, still looking for his first hit. 0 for 4 with a run scored on the season. As he takes another pitch out of the zone, 2-0. The future Northeastern Plainsman signed his letter of intent, committed to Northeastern Junior College to play basketball next year. So looking forward to having him as part of the Eastern Plains Sports Network family next year as he takes a hack at the 2-0 and fouls it out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike on Ethan Tyne. 1 out, bases full of Tigers, 1-0 Sterling, bottom of the first. Diego Lopez checks the sign, kicks and delivers, and Tyne fouls it back to the screen. Two balls and 2 strikes, the count on Ethan Tyne. Off of third is Bamford. Burton away from second. Off of first is Carrasco. The 2-2 misses up around the letters of that Tiger jersey. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The 3-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Ethan Tyne down on strikes for the second out of the inning, and the bases remain loaded with 2 away now, And now we'll see Kason Bamford replaced by the courtesy runner. Oh, that is Ortega over at second base. Thank you for correcting me, Julie. I appreciate it. Trying to watch through the snow and the rain and the sleet. So at second is Aiden Ortega, the courtesy runner for the pitcher Ethan Falzine. At third now is Caleb Garcia. And at the plate is Riker Van Wyk. Pitch in the dirt to Van Wyk. 1 ball and no strikes. Van Wyk, limited opportunities a year ago. Getting his first crack in the lineup here in 2025. The 1-0 pitch on the way to Riker, and he pops it up foul and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 outs. Base is full. A run across for the Tigers on an RBI walk, but a chance to really blow things open early may go by the wayside here. The 1-1 pitch, out one, paints the outside corner, and it is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Riker Van Wyk. Lopez ready, glove at the chest, the 1-2 on the way, in the dirt, knocked down by Carbone. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Garcia at third. Ortega off a second. Carrasco, big lead at first. Bouncer back up the middle, and it's off the glove of the shortstop, Askenazi. In to score is Garcia. Second error of the inning on the shortstop, and everybody reaches safely. 2 runs across for the Tigers. They lead it 2-0 here in this first inning. And that'll bring Mitch Boxberger, the first baseman, to the plate. That's a tough error for the shortstop, Askenazi, in these conditions, but that's the kind of ground ball you got to get down on and just make sure you make the play. He was eyeing the plate when he came up on that ball, and I think expected it to bounce a little more than it did, and unfortunately for him, it went right past the glove, and now the pitch in the dirt gets past the catcher, and sliding in to score and getting those nice, clean white pants dirty is Aiden Ortega. Say that is a 3 on the back of his jersey. Wouldn't you know that? And the Tigers build a 3-0 lead thanks to the wild pitch. We'll get some fresh, dry baseballs for the home plate umpire, but at this point, they're not going to stay warm and or dry for very long. 2-0 the count on the lefty, Boxberger. Mitch getting his first ABs of the season. Waves that bat above his head. Now nestles it on the shoulder. The 2-0 pitch in the dirt again. 3 balls and no strikes. Well, it looked like Diego Lopez was going to tiptoe his way out of danger here in the first inning and limit the Tigers to 1 run, but an error by the shortstop and a wild pitch has tacked 2 more on. 3-0 Sterling in the bottom of the first inning. The 3-0 on the way, and Boxberger will take one on the outer edge of the strike zone. 3 balls and a strike. Again, maybe a little more generous on the zone in the weather conditions this afternoon, just to try to speed things up a little bit. The 3-1, Mitch fouls it off the end of the bat now to play. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Boxberger. Carrasco's the runner at third. Van Wyck at second. With 2 outs, Tigers looking to keep tacking on some insurance runs. The 3-2 pitch on the way in the dirt, ball 4, and Boxberger draws another. Tigers head to their 9-hole hitter. They've batted around in the first inning thanks to 4 walks and a pair of errors by the DSST Montview Knights. Sterling still without a hit on the day. The best hit ball was the first out of the inning. Emerson hitting out of the 9 spot, takes a pitch that bends around the outside corner, for a called strike. No balls and 1 strike as Emerson still in search of his first hit of his senior season, his first year in a Tiger uniform. Pitch down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Of course, made a name for himself as a very good wide receiver for the football team and an outstanding defensive back. Amongst the best in the state in interceptions this past fall. Pitch inside, 2 balls and 1 strike on Emerson. He can run, he's athletic just like Ethan Tyne, but sometimes the athleticism in other sports doesn't translate right away in the game of baseball, no matter how much ball you've played, as that one's in the dirt, doesn't get far away, but Robbie Carrasco don't care. He's going to scoot on home and slide in just ahead of Santiago Carbone, the catcher, who had one option, and that was to try to beat Carrasco to the plate. The wild pitch didn't get very far, but it was just far enough, and Robbie, being super aggressive on the base paths, is going to take advantage. And Sam Emerson's got himself a 3-0 count to work with thanks to that wild pitch. 4-0 Sterling, 3-1 on Emerson. Runners at second and third. A pitch away from loading him up again in this inning. The 3-1 pitch off the handle of the bat from Emerson. He'll flare it over the top of the first base dugout. 3 balls and 2 strikes now on Sam. Van Wyck inching off a third. Short lead for Boxberger at second. Good secondary lead, though, and the 3-2 pitch is behind the head of Emerson. And the bases are full again. 5 walks in the inning by Diego Lopez. And we go back to the top of the order. Dayton DiOrio, the shortstop, who again had the best contact of the inning thus far. Hit a line drive to center field right at Coleman Fenner, who had to move over to his right a couple of steps to make the catch. That was really the best contact we've seen thus far. And it was an out. First pitch to DiOrio. He's going to foul one off the end of the bat out of play. He went down to get that one because right now I think everybody in that Tiger lineup just wants to pick up a hit. I mean, yeah, it's nice you're up 4-0, but 4 runs on no hits, couple of errors. The 2 times you've reached base with the ball in play, they haven't been hit particularly well. The 0-1 pitch, that one's roped into left field for a base hit. There's the first knock of the day. In to score is Van Wyk. Boxberger around third. He will score. It's a 2-run single for Dayton DiOrio, and the Tigers suddenly have a 6-0 lead here in inning number 1. And this will bring the 11th batter of the inning to the plate in Memphis Dempsey. Memphis reached on an error by the shortstop his first time up. He hit a ground ball to short that was scooped up by Toby Askenazi, and then he threw the ball over the head of the first baseman, Eli Banks, allowing Dempsey to reach, and Memphis will take the first pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Playing in front of the runner at first is Banks. Trying to hold Emerson near the bag at second is Askenazi. The pitch delivered, skied out towards left field. He got the left fielder spun around. It gets caught in the wind, and that ball's going to drop. In to score Emerson. Around third and galloping home is DiOrio. It's a 2-run double for Memphis Dempsey, and the Tigers have made it an 8-run affair here in this opening inning. And again, keep in mind, the DSST Montview Knights were an out away from getting out of this inning. Heck, they were a pitch away from getting out of this inning, a strike away from getting out of this inning with just 1 run across. Tigers have plated 7 runs with 2 outs. Kason Bamford drew a walk his first time up, and he'll take a pitch up and out of the zone for ball 1. Dempsey with that fly double to left center picks up the second hit of the inning for the Tigers. The 1-0 on the way, up and into Bamford. 2 balls and no strikes. Poor Diego Lopez, your heart breaks for him. 52 pitches in the inning, 2 hits, 5 walks, the 1 strikeout as he airmails one over the head of Bamford and all the way to the screen, and an easy stroll to third for Memphis Dempsey. And right now, Diego Lopez, I'm sure the fingers are numb. I'm sure the ball is wet. Your toes are numb. Everything's soaked. You're miserable. You're losing 8-0. It's just one of those days where you are not particularly fond of the game of baseball. As the 3-0 pitch, one hops the plate, and Kason Bamford draws his second walk of the inning. And finally, we get a visit from the dugout for the DSST Montview Knights, as the coach is going to come out and have a conversation on the hill with his squad. Bamford at first, Dempsey at third. Question is, are we going to bring in a courtesy runner for the runner at first with the catcher there? And right now, I think the conversation amongst the Knights coach and the umpire is more about the condition of the pitching mound than anything else. Right now, the coach for DSST Montview saying, man, you can't get any kind of footing. It's just sliding down the hill. The umpires are going to have a conversation, and they're calling everybody off the field. We may be calling this game right here, right now. We made the effort. We showed up. We put our best effort forth, but we're down 8-0 here in the first inning. The weather's not getting any better. The conditions on the field aren't getting any better, and I think this may just be They're coming out to shake hands, so I'm thinking maybe DSST Montview says, you know what, we're just going to eat the loss here and call it a day. 8-0 our score, 32 minutes of official game time action, and I think this one is one of those you look back on and go, did we even need to today? But hindsight's always 20/20, right? Tigers, I'm assuming, come away with the victory if that's the decision as they shake hands all the way around. This one comes to a close after just 32 minutes of game action. 8-0 our score on 105.7 KPMX and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.